Good day, folks. Hope you're all having a wonderful week. It's Thursday today. Weekend's nearly upon us. One more day to go. So for today, I thought we would have a look at a canoe. And this one is going to be from the Rough Rider series. And it is the Rough Rider Cinnamon Bone Stag. High polished Damascus steel blades, traditional acorn shield. And that will be model number RR2156. And here it is. So it lists as bone stag covers. So my guess from that is it's going to be bone fashioned to look like stag. And they did a pretty good job of it. I mean, like you wouldn't see that much white, I don't think, in actual stag, but at least not on the surface. Maybe as you grind down the bevels to the edge, you would get that. But I mean, I think it still looks good. I think they did a good job with it. Now, the model they show in the listings has a lot less of the white, more brown. So this one didn't appear to pick up the brown dye as much, but I still think it has a good look to it. I almost kind of think I prefer the little bit of white in there just to give more contrast. You've got a little acorn shield in there. Now it's your basic 3.62-inch canoe pattern. A little heavier though, this is a little beefier. And part of that, of course, is going to be your stag handles, because they're wider, and I'll show you a comparison in a moment. So it comes in right at about 3.62 inches as advertised. You have your typical canoe spear point blade. I don't know how well you'll pick that up on the camera, but there is the Damascus pattern. Now, I don't know if this is a true Damascus or if this is just like a laser etch or something like that. But you will note it doesn't have the 440 stainless. So I'm going to assume that means it's not stainless steel. You have your model number here, made in China, and your Rough Rider logo. And then your secondary blade, well, let's continue on with this blade for a moment. So it comes in at about 2.5 inches for your blade length, and maybe 2 1/8 or a little better for your cutting surface. You have half stops. Real nice snap to the open. Nice walk and talk back. Nice snap to the close. Half stops on your secondary pen blade. Maybe you can see that pattern a little better there. And your Rough Rider logo there. Nothing on this side. It's your pattern again. And a nice snap to the open there. So there's your two blades. So your standard canoe, just apparently a little bit fancier blade material. Fit and finish is good. No stepping to your bolsters. Pins are not proud, which is always a feat with a bone jigged or stag handle. Shield is inlaid kind of deep there, but again, you can see a little bit of a ridge there. But again, with the stag or stag impression, I guess, I don't know, you're going to have that. Back springs look good and tight. No issues there. And nice even swell to the bone, which again leads me to believe it's bone, not stag. Because stag is an uneven material. And we can give you an example. Some examples here. Like, it's not a perfectly symmetrical material to work with. It's going to have ridges and different thicknesses and depths through it. So, again, leading me to believe this is probably bone, made to look like stag. Now, I say it's a little beefier, and we'll compare that to, this is from the Rough Ryder Tater Skin series, which is another very cool series. You can see here, with the handles alone, makes it much thicker. But it also looks like you've got thicker springs with this one. So these might be springs more consistent with the Classic Carbon and Classic Carbon 2 series. So a heftier, beefier canoe. Now, one thing that I didn't like so much was they didn't do a great job with the grind. It's fairly even here. You can see it wanders quite a bit. See that to the tip? And the tip is fairly blunt because of that. Now, the same thing had occurred with the pen blade. I reprofiled it to try and get away from that, and so it's a little pokier. So I figured, while we got it out, why don't we try and do that with the main blade too? So all I'm going to try and do is just get rid of some of that extra meat at the tip and try and bring the grind to an even depth. And that should get rid of that bluntness. So if you'd like to see that, stick with me. All we're going to do is initially work from the tip and just try and take some of that excess material off. I mean, it's not really excess, but the way they did the grind just created a ledge, I guess, that took away from the pokiness of the tip. All I'm doing is laying the blade flat at the 20-degree angle of the guide. And just kind of gradually working it back a little bit. If I wanted to maybe do this faster, I could just, boom, just try and peel that right off. But I'd rather do it more gradually. A little bit trickier with this one because I've actually had a not terrible grind on one side and then really bad on the other. So that would create an imbalance to your edge. So I've got to try and work that back. It's a shame, it looks really nice on that side, but I've actually got to take more away from this side to catch this side up. I may fast forward this from this point in, just for the sake of not chewing up too much of your time. I know there's an awful lot of awesome knife channels out there, and we all want to try and get in as much of the content as we can. I struggle keeping up with it all myself. I like to support everyone. This might take a little bit longer than I thought, so maybe we'll pause here and then jump back in once I've made some progress. Okay, so I think we've made some good progress. I used the coarse grit to reprofile the tip, take some of that meat away, and then a few passes on the finer grit, just to balance everything out. And then a few passes, excuse me, along the ceramic rod. And a little strop. These little work sharp field guided sharpeners, or guided field sharpeners, are pretty slick. Everything you need to do edge maintenance and something you can drop in your pocket. Alrighty, let's see how we did. We got a fairly even edge on this side still. And then we've evened that edge out, took away that high grind, and gave a pokier tip. Oh, is it sharp? It seems to be good all the way through. I am happy with that. There we go. There we have it. The Rough Ryder Cinnamon Bone Stag Canoe. I think it's a good knife. Just had somebody at the factory or a machine at the factory, however they sharpen, just got a little hog wild on the ends there. But now we're in good shape. So I hope you enjoyed that. It's a good knife. I like it. Rough Ryder makes a lot of good canoes. I've got quite a few of them. In fact, the majority of my canoe collection is Rough Ryder. Combination of they make a good knife and they make a knife at an affordable price. And the way things are these days, particularly up here in the north, something affordable is very appealing. So anyway, folks, it's going to be here a nice weekend up here in the East Coast in the north. So I will be getting out to the woods for some of that and maybe running the roads, doing a few other things. So I hope you all get out and have a great weekend. I hope the sun is shining where you are and it is reasonably warm and you have a chance to get out to the woods because it's a great place to go to relax, clear your head, and have a little mental reset and enjoy some peace and quiet in some crazy times. And hey, take a knife with you. Might come in handy. Yeah, I'll take care.